Am I the a-hole for telling my brother he has himself to blame for his wife's cheating? My older brother, 29, male, has always had it easy and got way too comfortable in his situation. He was always the favorite compared to myself, 25 female, and my sister, 32 female, the handsome kid, popular in high school and with girls, that kind of thing. It seems during college he found a long-term girlfriend, and when he finished school he married her. It's been 6 years since they married, and he hasn't done anything. His wife has always been a driven and successful woman. How he got her to marry him, I will never know. Since they married, he has not worked. They don't have kids, and he barely does anything around the house. He outright admits it. He has gained a considerable amount of weight and developed a crippling porn addiction. He's way too open to admit it. It's awkward and spends his days with that or gaming. My brother got too used to gliding through life because he was always the pretty and fun guy. Now that he had his dream girl who provided for the house and brought in a ton of money without him having to lift a finger, he stopped trying to contribute at all. His wife works and does all the chores. They're roommates. I've always liked her and we hang out quite a bit. About 4 years ago she started doing anything she could to fix the relationship, since of course, my brother manipulated her into believing it was her fault. She tried to set up therapy appointments, go to the gym more, encourage him to go to the gym, try intimacy more often, cut back hours to spend more time with him, bought him expensive things. She spent years trying everything she could to fix things, believing it was her fault. He didn't try a single thing. Outright rejected therapy, mocked her weight even though she practically has a supermodel figure, insisted his weight was fine, refused to lift a finger for the house, and kept blaming her for the way things were, saying if she tried more he would be better. 3 years later she was still coming home to him watching porn in a dirty house while she cooked and cleaned. 3 years of working herself to the bone, only to come home to an emotionally abusive husband who beat her down while she tried everything to fix her marriage. Last year she decided she wanted a divorce. My brother became hostile and promised to drag it out and take as much as he could, as he had a prenuptial that he somehow got her to agree to. I know very little about divorce laws, especially in our state, except that we don't live in an at-fault state, but according to her, if she tried to go forward with it and he got petty, he could take a lot from her. Everything they have is because of her. She decided against divorce. She was trapped with him and accepted it against my and others' objections. I guess by then she was over his bullshit. She slowly spent more time away from home and claimed she was working extra hours. She didn't bother him about therapy or his weight. She pretty much stopped interacting with him. She didn't cook anymore. She didn't clean anymore. It didn't take long for her to admit to me she was spending quite a bit of time with other guys and girls. She never brought any home but was staying out late quite a bit. My brother didn't notice and I didn't care. For years she was a beaten-down shell trying to appease someone who didn't respect her. Now she was lively, happy, outgoing, and everything she used to be. I'm not happy about her feeling stuck with my brother or the concept of cheating in general, but it works for her. It didn't take long for him to find out. There were a lot of people she was meeting. He was livid, demanded she stop, and threatened divorce. She didn't care. She told him he knew where the door was. It was her home solely, and she was allowing him to stay out of obligation. She told him she would gladly stop if he agreed to a fair divorce without him fighting it, and that she was showing decency as a provider and a wife by not bringing her partners into their home. The thing is, even if my brother got his way in the divorce, he knew that money would not last at all, and without any work experience and the shape he was currently in, he would be screwed. He was an overweight slacker who barely had anything to his name. Prenup or not, now he was stuck. And so that's how it's been for nearly a year. She barely comes home anymore, and the list of APs has only gotten longer. My brother has tried going to the gym more, picking up a part-time job and cooking, but it's too late. He had years to fix this, and only chose to change when his back was against the wall. He's been begging me to make her stop and to give their marriage a shot. I told him he's a moron who only has himself to blame. If you beat down a patient and caring person long enough, they will mess you up. He needs to just accept a divorce in her favor and learn from this. He didn't like my answer at all and hasn't talked to me for a couple of weeks. So, am I the a-hole?